Hello and welcome to the 4 levels of fuel. In this video series, we're going to talk about where you want to start, why we have 4 levels, what the 4 levels are for, and how you use them to accomplish your goals. So why 4 levels? The goal here is to fully reset your mind's relationship with food and also your body's chemical and hormonal reactions to food. And a reset can be hard. What we're doing is resetting some very deeply ingrained habits and some very deeply ingrained chemical and hormonal reactions. For a lot of people, there are emotional issues surrounding food. There are all kinds of reasons that a quote reset can be very difficult to accomplish. And so you might want to work up to the full Monty. Also, after you do a full reset, you need somewhere to go next. Our 30-day reset is a very intensive 30 days, but after that, you need something to step down to. And life will get in the way. And so you need something that will work when it does. Typically, that means you're going to be doing less intensive work when you have to do things like go on vacation, or you have to do things like go on a business trip. The holidays come up. In the summertime, there are barbecues. There are all kinds of things that come up in life where you need something that is less than some intensive program that you may be on. So that's why we have different levels. And these 4 levels are not mutually exclusive. You can move up and down levels. You can be, doing a level 3 month and take a trip and drop it down to level 1 during your trip and then come back to level 3 when you get back. These tools are flexible, they're manageable, and they're built to fit your life. And so the goal here is to learn to eat like what we call a naturally lean and healthy person. Eventually, when all the weight is off and you're in, quote, maintenance mode, in other words, you're no longer trying to lose weight, you're trying to maintain where you are, maybe add lean muscle, or maybe maintain the muscle that you have and maintain your weight and not add fat. If that's your goal, that's a different mode than when you're trying to strip fat. You need to know how to just live eventually, and that's where we're trying to get you to live as a naturally lean and healthy person. And when we say just live, that does not mean that you no longer have, guides and bumpers and rules in place and responsibilities, etc. It means that you do all of those things naturally. You do it without having to work at it. And also you need a mode to practice in that when you're not dieting, you're not cleansing, you're not fasting, you're living the way you'd live when you've completely reset your relationship with food, when you've dropped all the weight. That is our level 1 mode. That's where you practice in between these cycles of doing harder work. Practice being and living the way that ultimately you want to live, which is healthy, lean, and doing both of those things naturally. And that mode is our level 1. We'll discuss it below. Take special note of this. Habits take time to break, and they take time to build and ingrain. This system gives you that time in a structured way that will result in changes to your core identity around food, around alcohol, around social eating. It's very powerful stuff, but it does take time. We're going to talk a lot about how much time it takes, why it takes the time it takes, etc., as we go forward here. So with that out of the way, let's summarize the 4 levels here. Level 1, as we said just a minute ago, is your baseline standard living level. It is, you're not trying to lose weight, you're not trying to burn fat, you are in maintenance mode. There's no fat loss, you're living as a naturally lean and healthy person. Also no fat gain, you're at stasis. You're eating enough nutrition to support optimal muscle, joint, brain, hormone, and energy function. And this is ultimately our end goal. This is where we're trying to get with this entire system. But it's also as I said earlier, it's our practice level. It's where we go between cycles of the more rigorous work. Level 2 is light fat loss. There's no tracking. There's some intermittent fasting, but no full fasting, no carb cycling. You're just eating a balanced fruit and vegetable heavy diet. For some people, it'll be all fruits and vegetables, but you don't have to do that. The key is to eat a good plant-based diet. There's nothing inherently unhealthy about eating meat. There's trash meat, there's garbage meat, there's stuff you don't really want to be eating, lunch meat, things like that. There is bad meat, but meat, because it's meat, is not necessarily bad. Some people disagree with that on a philosophical level. That's fine. So just eating a balanced fruit and vegetable, in other words, plant-based diet. And if you choose to eat meat, that's fine too. That's a choice. Just choose quality meat. The system does have light calorie restriction in level 2. It is a weight loss mode. It's a fat burn mode. Light calorie restriction, by the way, CR means calorie restriction. It is the primary way that most diets promote weight loss and fat burn. It's by restricting your calories slightly below your total daily energy expenditure, which is TDEE. So level 2 does incorporate some CR below TDEE. But that's about it. That's pretty much all you do. You just basically manage your calories. You have a slight caloric deficit each day, and you focus on eating a good, clean diet, just like you do in level 1. Level 3, we start to really sort of move towards stronger, heavier fat loss. We use the full suite of tools in the fuel system. We use tracking, we use calorie restriction, we use intermittent fasting, we use full day fasting, we use cleansing, we use carb cycling. These are all the tools that you're going to learn how to use to really manage your body for different things, primarily for fat loss and fluid loss, for regaining health, not necessarily maintaining health. Maintaining health is sort of in the level 1, level 2 area. Level 3 is about regaining health, really stripping fat, really stripping fluid, stripping inflammation. Level 3 is very good for removing inflammation. Level 4 is incredible for it as well, but level 4 is not really sustainable. That's kind of a one month at a time deal, sometimes 2 months, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But this level 3 is the 30-day reset that we do immediately after weeks 1 and 4 on the full reset, the level 4 reset. So little to no elimination of foods. The only things that you'll really eliminate are things that you found cause problems for you. So for instance, if you're sensitive to gluten or you're sensitive to dairy, obviously you're not going to eat heavy dairy and heavy gluten and expect to maintain your health. So we may still do some restriction on those items. But unlike in level 4, we are not heavily focused on restricting different categories of foods or different types of foods. And then level 4, that's the full 30-day reset. This is powerful fat loss using all the tools at our disposal, plus elimination of certain potential irritants, the dairy, the gluten, all added sugar and all alcohol are out during your 30-day reset, which is what we put at level 4. So this is a true full reset. Usually it's only necessary, as I said, for 30 days. Hard cases might need 2 rounds, so you might go 60 days on this. I don't think I've ever had anybody on this for more than 60 days at a time. And this is something you can come back to once or twice a year, once you've lost your weight. This just helps to continually reset your brain's relationship with food. It does an amazing job at driving you to want and crave wholesome, natural foods. It does an amazing job of removing those cravings for heavily processed, highly sweetened, high sodium, fried, fatty foods that hurt you, that cause health problems in you, that cause the weight gain, cause the inflammation. It does an amazing job at removing your desire for those types of foods. So level 4 is very powerful, but it's also very difficult. It's something that many people have to work up to. If you can just jump right in and do a full 30-day reset, good on you. It's a hard thing to do. Even for me, when I have to do a full 30-day reset, I kind of have to prepare myself for it for a few weeks. So some people can just do it, and it's not a big deal for them. Others have to really work up to it, and then there are people in the middle. So at any rate, those are the 4 levels. Very strong, very powerful, and it gives you a place to start. You could start at level 1. You could start at level 2. You can jump right into level 4. It gives you levels to go back to. You can start at level 4 and then spend a week or 2 at level 1 and then come back to level 3. Spend 4, 6, 8 weeks or more at level 3. Drop back down to level 2 for a couple weeks. Recover. Come back up to level 3. We're going to talk about the recovery process and why that's necessary here shortly. So that covers our summary of the 4 levels in the fuel system. Next, we're going to move on to failure and why there is no such thing as failure and what that means. So we'll see you there.